British colonial rule in India systematically sowed divisions between Hindu and Muslim communities to maintain control. Policies like the divide and rule strategy and separate electorates deepened religious fissures. By the early 20th century, these tactics had institutionalized communal identities, setting the stage for future conflict. The colonial administration's favoritism and economic exploitation further alienated the masses, creating a tinderbox of resentment. The 1940s saw communal tensions escalate under British rule. Events like the Direct Action Day in 1946, where Muslim League protests turned violent in Calcutta, resulted in thousands dead. The British, focused on post-World War II retreat, ignored warnings. Political leaders like Jinnah and Nehru became figureheads of polarized movements, while colonial officers passively observed the chaos they'd engineered. In 1947, Lord Mountbatten, the last viceroy, accelerated India's independence, declaring partition just months ahead. His unilateral June 3rd announcement shocked leaders, leaving no time for peaceful transition. Historians argue this haste was Britain's final negligence, prioritizing exit over stability. The arbitrary deadline of August 15th ignored ground realities, guaranteeing chaos. Cyril Radcliffe, a British lawyer with no prior knowledge of India, was given 5 weeks to draw the new borders. His opaque process, no consultations, no field visits, split villages, rivers, and families overnight. The Radcliffe Line's secrecy fueled rumors, triggering preemptive violence. Millions awoke to a new nationality they hadn't chosen. As borders were announced, 15 million people became refugees in history's largest forced migration. Trains and bullock carts carried Hindus to India, Muslims to Pakistan, through hostile territories. Many died of exhaustion or violence mid-journey. The colonial state, now absent, provided no aid, abandoning those it had displaced. Trains meant to carry refugees became rolling coffins. In 1947, the Kali Mata Express arrived in Lahore with all Muslim passengers massacred. Retaliatory attacks followed. Stations piled corpses like firewood. Survivors recount stench so thick it clung for weeks. These trains symbolized partition's dehumanizing brutality. Refugee camps, hastily built in forts and schools, overflowed with the displaced. Disease and starvation killed thousands daily. Women, disproportionately targeted in earlier violence, now faced trauma and unwanted pregnancies. Aid was scarce. The new governments, overwhelmed, left many to fend for themselves. Partition erased shared heritage overnight. Lahore cinemas, once Hindu-owned, emptied. Delhi's Urdu poets fled to Karachi. Ancestral homes were torched to prevent desecration by others. This cultural amputation still pains survivors. Their childhood landmarks now just stories told to grandchildren. Decades later, survivors pass down stories like heirlooms of grief. A sick grandmother describes walking 300 miles. A Muslim man recalls hiding in a Hindu neighbor's attic. This intergenerational trauma shapes identities in both nations, with silence often masking unresolved pain. The Wagah border ceremony, with its choreographed aggression, epitomizes partition's enduring divide. Nuclear-armed India and Pakistan still clash over Kashmir, a conflict rooted in Radcliffe's rushed lines. Meanwhile, diaspora communities globally preserve pre-partition culture, a bittersweet resistance to borders that never healed.